The UFC is back this weekend with Dolidze versus Hernandez. Let's break the fight card down. It's at the UFC Apex, so expect to hear some punches and kicks and some knockouts. Let's go. Let's break this video down. So starting off the fights, the opening prelims, we got Cody Brundage versus Eric Mukananiko. So I'm thinking Cody Brundage could actually win this fight. His last fight with Abdul Malik, right? That's who it was. Let me see real quick. So I just get that. Yes, sir. Abdul Malik. He was actually doing really good on the feet. Like, way better than I anticipated. And then he got, what was it? Was it a real bad headbutt that ended up stopping the fight? And it stopped the fight. At first, it was a TKO, but then they played it back, seeing that it was a headbutt. And so then the judges... It went to the judges' scorecard, and in my opinion, I thought it was 1-1 going into the third. All the judges had it 2-1. I thought he was winning that fight. I thought he was on his way to win the fight. So I'm going Cody Brundage because I think Eric Mikaniko does not have what it takes to beat Cody. I don't think he has, the level of striking that Abdul has, or the level of wrestling that'll beat Cody Brundage on the ground as well. And he also doesn't have the experience. I think Cody Brundage has beaten and fought against a lot better fighters than Eric has in his day. And I think, dude, it's just like, bro, if Cody loses this fight, he's cursed, and he's not supposed to win in the UFC. Because his past, 4 or 5 fights have either just, been interrupted by an illegal strike, or just he gets robbed, or he just doesn't, he just crumbles and just doesn't look good. It's always something with Cody Brundage, but I do think he's due for a win, and I think it will be Saturday night against Eric Mukaniko. So, yeah, going Cody Brundage probably by decision. Next up, we got Gabriela Fernandez and Julija Stelenko. So, I'm going Gabriela. I know she knocked out and submitted in the same day Wukong. What's that girl's name? In her last fight, Kong. Okay, so that was her last fight, which was almost a year ago, right? So that is a lot of time off. And she beat Judas, who's fucking nice on the feet. So Fernandez should win this fight. Just point blank, period. Judas is nice on the feet. She ends up beating her. Kong is literally like a world champion kickboxer. Drops her with a fucking head kick and then submits her. So, I don't really know who this girl is fought. Let's see. She has 10 wins by submission, 10 first round finishes. Hold on. She's 11-9 though. All right, never mind. I was kind of getting hyped, and then I seen that she was 11-9. Yeah, she got submitted by Molly McCann. No, she's on a 3-fight losing streak. Let's just put the house on Fernandez. I don't know what kind of fucking matchmaking that is. Kong is fighting ranked opponents, and then she's fighting her. Okay, all right, that's cool. We're gonna move on from that because Uros Medic versus Gilbert Urbina. So Uros Medic has fought same kind of thing with Cody Brundage, but a little bit different because he's won a lot of fights too. Uros has fought a lot of good guys. Let's take a look. He's fought, I know, Olbai. He's fought Soriano, who's really fucking good. Cracks heavy at welterweight. Tim Means, knocked him out. Got submitted by Orobai, who's really fucking good. Knocked out Semmelsberger, who's, up and down. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. Got submitted by Turner. Knocked out. So the thing is with Medic is every time he wins, he's knocking someone out. So he knocked out Cruz. He beat Morales. Knocked him out, right? Knocked out Smellsberger, so he's going into the Oralby fight on a 2-fight knockout streak. Loses that by submission, comes back in, knocks out Tim Means, and then gets fucking slept in 30 seconds by Soriano. I remember that fight. But I don't think, Gilbert is going to bring that kind of heat. He only has 2 knockouts and 2 submissions, 2 first-round victories. He's decent everywhere, right? We've seen him fight on the Contender Series, but, he's not great at any one spot. And he got knocked out by Radke. And Radke, he's, he knocks people out, but he's not a technician on the feet. You know what I mean? He got knocked out by Mike Malott. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be going Medic with this one, probably by knockout. I could see him getting the job done within 3, or it could be like one of those welterweight fights where it's just not that impressive and they go 3 rounds. I don't know what's going on with my screen right now. But yeah, I got Euros Medic, probably either by decision or by knockout. Next up, we got Jocelyn Edwards, and I'm going Jocelyn because Cachoeira, she is coming into this fight on short notice. She won her last fight, right, against Nunez, and Nunez is okay. She's not that great. She has like no stand up, no head movement. She's all right. She knocks her out, which I think she beat her with a body shot, if I'm not mistaken. But I think Jocelyn Edwards is better everywhere. She's longer. She's going to be taller. And yeah, I mean, Priscilla's coming in on short notice. I don't think she's going to be ready for this fight. Jocelyn Edwards is locked in. She's focused. She should win this fight, and she's pretty good everywhere. She's been getting better and better. She's decent on the feet, decent on the ground. And yeah, she has more wins. I think she's going to do better. So yeah, Jocelyn Edwards, we're going to go with her. Next up, we got Elijah Smith and Toshiomi Kazama. He's been getting knocked out in every single UFC fight he's been in. In his last fight that he won, he almost got knocked out. Ends up getting a triangle out of an overzealous opponent trying to knock his head off. So, like, he's dangerous. He could find ways to finish the fight. Elijah Smith isn't the most dangerous fighter by any means, but I do think he's better. Morales is pretty good, and he goes 3 rounds, beats Morales in a really close fight. I think Elijah's going to get it done, probably by decision or knockout. Like, Toshiomi just gets knocked. He don't got no chin, I don't think he has a good chin. Elijah Smith, if he goes in there, really athletic, 1-2, fast, speed, power, connects, punches straight down the middle, body kicks, just tears them apart for 3 rounds. I think he could do good because Morales is good, and he beat Morales in a really close fight. So, yeah, we're going Elijah Smith. Next up, we got Julius Walker and Rafael Cerqueira. Now, Cerqueira has been knocked out back-to-back times in fucking the first round in under 3 minutes in both fights. I think the first one was like in under a minute. Second one's under 3 minutes. Julius Walker's UFC debut was against Alonzo Menifield, right? And I don't really necessarily remember that fight. He's 6-1, so I don't know if that was a debut, like a legit debut for him, or if it was like a short notice debut, which a lot of fighters do get, right? A lot of fighters get short notice debuts because someone drops out, and they end up fighting somebody that's, they shouldn't be fighting, right? And they definitely shouldn't win against. And Walker lost a split decision. So, I mean, that fucking tells you, like, right away how good this guy is, because Alonzo Menifield is, on a 5-fight win streak or something like that in the light heavyweight division, which is kind of crazy. So, yeah, I'm giving Julius Walker the win. I could see him knocking the dude out. I mean, Julius Walker, he's 6-1, so he's got a lot of room left for finishes in his career. He's young, obviously, and is at the light heavyweight, division, so these guys got power. I mean, Rafael looks big, athletic, strong, but, like, he comes in and he fights, Bukauskas, who's really good, but Aslan, he's, like, just a power puncher. He doesn't have really any technique unless he fought him on his best night, and he got knocked out twice, back-to-back fights. So, when was his last fight? Because if he's been just, like, getting knocked out, and these fights are, like, close, February, that's kind of enough time to recover. But, like, even then, he had time from his first fight getting knocked out to that fight, and he still got knocked out. So I'm going Julius Walker, either by knockout or decision. Next up, Eric Anders versus Christian Leroy Duncan. Now, I'm picking Christian Leroy Duncan, probably picks him apart for 3 rounds. He's younger. I think he's a lot better on the feet. He's more of a technician, and he beat Pulayev. I don't know how to say his name in a decision. Pulayev's really good. He just fought recently. Lost to Rodriguez in a decision, maybe too high up a jump before what he really deserved at the time. Because we all know Rodriguez is really good, and then he's only lost to Rodriguez and Armin Petrosyan, 2 really good guys. Not like the best guys in the division, but they were decisions, right? The Petrosian one was a decision. Let me see. Let me just check that. Yeah, it was by decision. So he's losing to guys who finish people by decision. And if we go over to Eric Anders, he beat Chris Weidman. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Chris Weidman, who hasn't won a fight in fuck whoever knows how long that's been. And then he beat Jamie Pickett, who is 13-11. Okay, so not great, right? Like, these guys are just not great. Eric Anders has a lot of tools, and he's really good, like decently good everywhere, right? Like, he's got decent striking, good boxing, really decent wrestling, jiu-jitsu. But I think this is just a passing of the torch. I think he's, on the down slope of his career. And yeah, I think Christian Leroy Duncan is taking this one home. I think he's younger. I think he's better. Maybe Eric Anders skirts by with a win if he just wrestle fucks Christian Leroy Duncan and just gets him to the ground and, doesn't gas out, fights hard for 3 rounds, puts Christian against the fence, and doesn't allow him to use his dynamic striking, right? But I think Christian should know that's going to be kind of the game plan and work towards that and, have a gas tank able to defend takedowns and pick them apart for 3 rounds, because Eric Anders, at the end of the day, is kind of hard to put away. He's not the easiest guy to knock out, but I think Christian can get it done. Probably decision. 29-28, maybe he loses during a wrestling fest, maybe. But 29-28, 30-27, I can see. Next up, we got Miles Johns versus Gene Matsumoto. Gene is coming off of a loss to Rob Font, where Rob Font, he does one of those sneaky glove touch right hands, right? Pussy shit. I don't give a fuck who you are. Khamzat Chimaev, Rob Font. If you do that fake glove touch shit, you're a pussy. I don't care. You're a fucking bitch. And yeah, I stand on that. And Miles Johns, he's like all right everywhere. He doesn't have great stand-up. He's got a really good jab. I will say that. But he doesn't have any head movement. You know that he's got a really good jab, so you just go into that fight countering jabs. Throw overhands over that jab. Throw the right hands over that jab. Split his jab with your jab. Kick him in the head with the switch kick as he throws a jab. Low calf kick him, Maybe not kick too much because he is a wrestler, so like head kicks only. Stand southpaw to really get rid of that jab and move to the right. I don't know if Gene's going to be standing southpaw, but Gene should have the striking capabilities to keep John at distance and not really do much to him. John is a tank, though. He is tanky, right? So it's going to be, you got to really, bully his ass, right? If you're on the feet, you got to fucking just class him, punch him, hurt him bad. Miles Johns doesn't really finish anybody unless he cheats and grabs the glove. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that in this fight. If a cheat presents itself, just know Miles Johns probably will do it. And, he shoots takedowns, but he doesn't have, like, real finishing takedown capability. He shoots deep shots, but, like, he doesn't have a dynamic ground game either. He's just real tanky wrestler, boxer, And Gene, I think, is more dynamic on the feet. He's got better submissions on the ground, so maybe Miles Johns stays away from the ground game. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Miles Johns actually wrestle fucks Gene for 3 rounds, but I don't see that happening. I got Gene Matsumoto by decision because it's kind of hard to take out Miles Johns unless he catches him early with either catches him early dry with some kind of a punch or a kick or a submission. Catches him dry with a submission. Next up, we got Christian Rodriguez and Andre Fili. Now, this one is a really good fight. It's going to be a good fight. It's a real pick'em fight, right? It's like it's up in the air. You could pick Christian Rodriguez for a certain amount of reasons, but then all of those same reasons, you could pick Andre Fili. Andre is real dynamic early. Every single fight, first round, he pretty much wins. He comes out hot, real hot. Lots of kicks, lots of straight punches. Very good scrambles on the ground. Sometimes he puts himself into danger, like when he, got submitted with the guillotine not too long ago, which was kind of like, you're a little too late in the game, a little too seasoned to be putting yourself in that position that he did. But he has very, very good kicks, very good striking. I think he's a little too much when he's on. I think he'll be a little too much on the feet for Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez needs to pretty much utilize all of his MMA here. Like, you got to put Andre Fili up against the cage. You got to wear him down. You got to take him down, beat him up, get to his back, use your jiu-jitsu, try to get him into a situation where you could find a submission, because Andre will put himself in a position on accident where it's a bad position and he could get submitted, right? He's done that in the past. So Christian Rodriguez needs to use calf kicks, get your head offline, because he's going straight down the pipe with his 1-2s, Andre, and he's using cross kicks. Lots of cross kicks. That means he's throwing his 2 or whatever the backhand is, right? Southpaw orthodox. The cross, whether it's a right hand or a left hand, and he's throwing a head kick right after that, or a body kick. So make sure you're circling away from all of his power every time he switches stances, and then, line him up with your right hand and try to get him to the ground. Try to get him to the ground, put him on his back, and use all of your MMA if you're Christian. I want to go Christian Rodriguez. I think he has a little bit more tools everywhere to beat Andre, but I think if the fight stays on the feet, Andre will win the fight. If the fight is on the feet for a majority of every single round, he's going to win. He has a decent chance of hurting Christian as well. Andre is really good at finding those shots that hurt. So we'll see. That's going to be a really good fight. It's a fun fight. It doesn't really do much for the division. I guess for these two it does. But it's, if Andre beats Christian, he's right back in the mix for being ranked. And if Christian beats Andre, he beat a real good veteran who's been around for a long time. And that's a good win for Christian. So I think I'm going to go Christian by decision. Next up, we got Yasmin Lucindo and Angela Hill. I'm going Angela Hill for this one. I think, her sheer volume, she moves around a lot. She's never literally stopping. She's always mixing it up. And every time she wins, it's by decision. Every time she loses, it's by decision. And I think that, the only thing you could question is how much longer does Angela have in the tank? How much more does she have? She's been fighting for fucking ever. And it's always the same style. It's always a grueling fight. When does her body just stop producing the cardio and stamina that it could produce, right? So I'm going to go Angela Hill. I think she is going to win this fight 29-28 if she doesn't get caught in some kind of submission early, or maybe, get caught on the feet. But I don't see anywhere where Rodriguez can catch her on the feet, because she hasn't knocked anybody out in the UFC. She has 8 wins by knockout. None of those are in the UFC. All of her wins are by decision. She has 1 submission. Right, so she's not finishing anyone, right? So if we're gonna talk about her finishing capabilities, it's nowhere in the UFC. She hasn't finished anyone in the UFC besides one person. So I think Angela Hill's gonna get it done. Angela Hill is the queen of decision victories and defeats. So, and like every time she loses, they're fucking close. Like she either gets robbed or they're split decisions. So I'm gonna go Angela Hill. I think she'll get the job done. Next up, we got Steve Erceg. So Steve Erceg versus Ode Osborne, I think is going to be a good scrap. Ode Osborne might get lit up on the feet here and there. He might throw a couple athletic, real dynamic hits that might land on Steve Erceg every now and then. He might freeze up. Steve is probably going to be a little bit better than him on the feet. Steve drops his left hand a lot, and he's really susceptible to that right hand. Kai Kara France hit him with it. Brandon Moreno started finding it towards the end of the fight. I was yelling at the fucking TV, throw your right hand. Go to the body, throw the right hand. Feint. His left hand is so low. It's so down low. He runs into right hands all the fucking time, Steve Erceg. If he just kept his left hand up, he'd be a little bit better. But I do think he's going to skid past Ode Osborne with a 30-27, 29-28. Maybe if Steve gets hurt, somewhere in, the fight, maybe he gets dropped because he's getting a little chinny. He's getting a little chinny ever since that Kai Kara France fight. He got hurt a little bit against Brandon Moreno, but surprisingly, he took a lot of good shots against Brandon Moreno. I was surprised about that. But Ode, he's a dynamic striker. He hits hard. So Ode does have the puncher's chance, but I think he's just Steve Erceg's a little bit better everywhere. So I'm thinking Steve Erceg. He's on, maybe this is a resurgence of Steve. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a resurgence of Ode. But I think Steve is definitely getting the job done by decision Saturday night. And that brings us to the main event. I almost said the heavyweight. The main event, Roman Dolidze versus Anthony Hernandez. Now, I think if Anthony Hernandez brings the fight to Roman right away, round 1, like he did with Brendan Allen, it's got to be a fucking barn burner. against Roman Dolidze without putting yourself in danger, because Roman Dolidze, I do think, is dangerous, a little bit more dangerous. I hesitate to say everywhere, because I do really, really like Anthony Hernandez's ground game, right? I think he's got a very good ground game. But Roman Dolidze put Jack Hermanson in a fucking calf slicer and then finished him by flattening him out from the calf slicer on top of him with the calf slicer in, TKO'd him. So if you put Jack Hermanson in the calf slicer, your ground game is fucking good. Okay? And for Jack Hermanson to not be able to get out of that position, like, he needs both hands to punch you. He needs both hands to submit you. At one point, he did not have both hands to submit you. He was punching you, and you were still flat on your back when the dude had a calf slicer. Like, you couldn't roll, you couldn't tuck. He was just getting hit too. Like, that just might be indication of how hard Roman Dolidze punches. He was hitting fucking Jack so hard, Jack was like, I'm not even going to fucking try to get out of this shit. He fucking hits way too hard. And, he couldn't. He was scrambled really fast. And so Roman has very good striking capabilities, very good hands. He's got good power. He's really dynamic on the feet as well. Not the cleanest, but he's dangerous on the feet. I think Anthony is a little bit cleaner, but he doesn't have that finishing capability on the feet that Roman does, right? Because the power is going to be the verdict there. So I'm going Roman Dolidze. I think he's going to be a little bit more dangerous on the feet. I think he'll be able to create scrambles. But Anthony Hernandez, man, is a technician, and he's very fucking good. So this one's a toss-up for me as well, because I could see Anthony Hernandez, especially if he brings the fight to Roman early on and it goes 5 rounds. He either submits him, in the 4th, 5th round when Roman Dolidze is gassed, or maybe he TKOs him on the ground somehow, or he just wins a decision from just, pure violence and pure volume. If anyone's winning off of pure violence, it's going to be Roman Dolidze. But I think Roman Dolidze is a little bit more dangerous, so I'm gonna give him the go. I think he could hurt Hernandez more than Hernandez can hurt him. As long as Roman keeps him off his legs, keeps his back off the cage, controls the center of the octagon, he could win. If he doesn't do any of that, I think that favors Anthony Hernandez more. But Anthony, I don't think he needs to go in slow. He needs to start off fast, bring the fight to Roman, do his thing, and so I got Roman in the main event, either by TKO or a 5-round bloodbath where he just hurts Hernandez almost every round. But I don't know. We'll see. I like Hernandez a lot. It's hard for me to go against Fluffy. I'm just trying to call it how it is. Like I said, I could see Hernandez winning, and I could see him winning dynamically. Okay? I'm not saying he's going to get his ass beat. I could see him whooping Roman's ass too. I'm just going to go Roman because I think he's a little bit more dangerous on the feet. Yeah, so that's the picks. Make sure you like, subscribe, tune in Sunday when we break this down. Peace out, everybody.